Live from the happiest place in the Lone Star State. Welcome back to the Talking Mickey Project. TMP is your home for Disney fans of all abilities. Now, it's your host, Emma.
Hey everyone! How y'all doing tonight? As you know, it's our third time over several months.
Returning to our first interview in several months.
Yes, as Mom has said it in the background. So you remove both hands, Mama. No! You remove Mom's puppet, hand puppet back.
Yay. Tell them who you're interviewing.
We are interviewing.
Bob
We're interviewing Mr. Bob and Miss Nadia
of
Galaxy Edge Explorers. Enjoy, guys. Alrighty, we're back. Alrighty, we're back.
You want to say a welcome, please?
Oh, yeah. Welcome, Mr. Bobby and Miss
Nadia
Kimaika.
from Galaxy's Edge Explorers, right?
Yes.
All right. Well, thank you so much. It's been a while since we've done some interviews, but Emma loves doing these. And for one reason or another, it's taken a little while to get back on track. But we're back on track, and we're thankful to have you here as our first guest for this time around, this season, so to speak.
Yeah.
All right.
Be here.
Well, you ready? Are you ready to do your first question?
Yeah.
Okay. Are you guys ready?
Yep.
All right. Here comes number one.
When did you become a Disney fan, and what is your earliest memory of a Disney theme park?
Nadia.
I've been a Disney fan so long, I can't remember when I started to be a Disney fan. I know that when I was a kid here in Los Angeles, we would get the Disney passes back then, and they were like, you had your little photo on a little laminated card and everything. Like $30 for your annual pass. So it's
Oh, wow.
That's how much it cost?
Back then, yeah.
Oh, it's $30?
They've gone up quite a bit. When Eisner came in, I think the prices started going really kind of crazy. But let us know how you finish.
Okay, sorry. Go ahead.
I mean, I was pretty much, that's pretty much all I can remember. I just, it was a little while in my adulthood where I kind of stepped away from going to the parks, but then, the whole Star Wars thing happened, and we got very much into going back to the parks and stuff. So.
And as for myself, I lived up north in my youth, and my father got transferred down to Florida. So on a trip down to visit before we moved, we went to Disney World, and it was only the Magic Kingdom then. Epcot hadn't even opened yet. This is back in the late 18th century, if this gives you an idea how long ago this was. I wasn't even aware because I was born the same year that Disney World was made. So I was like 7 or 8, and so was the park. So I had no idea. But it was an incredible first visit, and I've been back a few times since. Just a few. Just a couple.
That's cool. We used to live in Tennessee and South Carolina, and then briefly in Florida. And I think Emma has been to Walt Disney World at least a couple dozen times.
I think it's going to be 45 or
something like that. And we've been to Disneyland twice.
Oh, wow.
So we're got to catch up on the Disneyland side.
Yeah.
But we had a great time the last visit we had. So, all right. Are you ready for number 2?
Yeah.
Okay. Here's number 2.
You get to go first.
Oh, okay.
You got to read it.
I know I'm working. I try to catch my breath.
Oh, okay.
Okay, I'm good now. Why did you start your YouTube channel? What are your professional backgrounds?
Well, we started our YouTube /Instagram /TikTok, basically all of our social networking in 2018 when Galaxy's Edge was first announced, because we felt like we wanted to be a part of it. We were already annual pass holders at that point, and we knew we were going to be a much larger part participating in it. Just in our hearts, we knew that. So we dug down and decided to go ahead and start a channel. We've got some early videos of us doing the countdown to when the park's going to when Galaxy's Edge was going to open. And back then, it was just a door with a it was just locked off so you could get into it. Although from some of the videos we tried. But this upcoming May 31st is actually going to be the 4-year anniversary of it opening. So we've been covering news on Galaxy's Edge now for 5 years, which kind of surprises us.
Wow.
And
yeah, that goes fast.
Yeah.
We watched a lot of the vloggers that were doing the video from the parking garage, looking at the back and all that stuff. Yeah, we were just as hyped. And the opportunity we had, even though we'd been to Disney World a lot, we actually saw it first at Disneyland because we went in 2019 in October, I think, something like that of 2019.
I think so.
And
it was October because they had their whole week done now.
That's right. It was phenomenal because when we finally did get the next year to Florida, you can tell the color scheme and everything is so different.
Yeah.
There's some things are similar, some things aren't, but the color scheme and all that stuff was very different. So you knew where everything was, but it just didn't feel quite right, after the first time. What? You have to talk.
we rode rock. While we rode rock, we resisted.
Oh, this past trip, yeah, we just a month or so ago, we finally got to ride Rise of Resistance. We tried 3 times in various parks.
At Disney World.
And well, and yeah, it wasn't open in Disneyland yet. Yeah, so we tried 3 times in Disney World and never got on for one reason or another. So this time we actually got to do it. So that was pretty
cool. Did they have the queue at that point where you had to log on at 8 a.m. to try to get a spot?
In Florida, they did when we tried then. Yeah. The first time we actually got a slot, it was like at 4:30 or something like that. And then we got into the vehicle and they had a power failure and everybody had to get out.
Oh no.
And it was like, we're so close. But they walked us off through the what do you call the cast area and all that stuff. So everybody was really nice.
Well, that was
but we were so close.
So, that was great for you guys to get that behind the scenes look at it. It took us years.
Yeah, it was cool. So we saw the first order break room with their microwave and all of that stuff.
Yeah, I thought we saw his break room already in the SNL skit for Undercover.
Oh yeah, that's right. That's right.
The break room probably was very similar to that.
Yeah, Saturday Night Live did the thing. Remember?
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Map the radar.
All right. Are you ready for number 3?
Yeah.
Okay, here's number 3.
What makes Galaxy's Edge so special to you among all of the other lands at the Disney parks?
For me, I think it's a couple of things. It's the immersive nature of the land, that where you can go and you can interact with not only the face characters such as Rey and Chewbacca, but the local Batuans as well. Like, there's no other part of the park where it's like I can go and be like, oh, hey, it's so and so, look, let's go visit, Nancy or something. And it's like we'll go and we'll walk through Galaxy's Edge and we'll just like literally hang out with cast members for a good part of the time and just talk about things Batuan, and so it's very immersive.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They definitely stepped the game up when they did that.
Right, son.
Bright Suns, that's right. When we went last time, she told someone in one of the stores that, and the cast member was like, because Emma, I think she said it really fast or something.
I had to slow down.
Yeah, you slowed down a little bit, and she smiled so much. She's like, somebody said, because I think a lot of people have kind of either moved past or just don't understand all that lore and stuff that goes with it. And Emma just loves it. She loves Disney history. She loves anything you can throw at her about Disney. So she was ready, right?
Lightsaber.
Well, you have yours, but it's in the other.
Oh,
okay. Emma wants to show you all her lightsaber, but
we can do it after, okay?
Maybe so. All right. Well, did you? Oh, yeah. Did y'all finish, or do you want to add anything else to that? I think Bobby didn't say his yet.
Well, what Galaxy's Edge so special? I mean, it's the immersive environment is definitely a larger part of it. I had to explain it to my father as it's like a Renaissance fair, but for Star Wars, and it's like everyone's walking around pretending to be a character, and they've got swords of light versus swords of steel, but it has been great because as time has gone on, and we've been visiting it now for 4 years, the community that Nadia spoke of not just the people who visit Batu, but the Batuans themselves recognize us and have different relationships with us, and they'll see us coming around. Poor little Batu B2 here. We've had people ask, it's just like, where's B2 at today? And I'm like, he's at home. We weren't able to bring him today, but
isn't that cool? Yeah, it's just you create that sense of family. Have you seen that the cast members that work there have stayed longer than maybe in other roles in other parts of the park? Have you noticed?
I've noticed, well, but I think that's one of the differences is that when we go from area to area before, we don't necessarily remember who we saw at Star Tours or or at Space Mountain. However, the interactions that we have with them in the anywhere from the shops to the dining to just Batuans they have on the street, that's just been a much closer and longer relationship. And I know we come back because of them, and I hope they're staying because of us.
Yeah, I know that I've seen a lot of people talking about it online, like because we're friends with cast members, and they'll talk about sometimes when they have to change lands or whatever, and they never want to leave Batu. Like if they can't, they won't leave it. And I think it's due to the fact that they get to play a part, that they get to be so much more interactive with guests than like somebody, at the Royal Garden we're waiting for people to see princesses or something like that. And so for them, I think it really enriches their whole work experience as well.
That's what I was thinking. Yeah, that's great. I think it would be more fun to do if you were there, weren't you? Yeah.
What, the interaction with the cast?
Yeah, because you would be your own character, right? You would have your own part in the whole thing. That'd be cool. I think that would be very cool. All right. Are you ready for number 4? This is a long one.
No,
Okay.
I was reading all the things earlier.
You gonna take a deep breath? Okay, take a deep breath. Now go. Go ahead.
Okay. From the Mandalorian, visiting Batu to recent announcements about the Galactic Star Cruiser Hotel, what are your thoughts on how Disney has managed Star Wars inside and outside of the parks?
My turn to start, right? Mm-hmm. Yeah. You're right. That is a very long question.
Yeah, did not take a break of breathing.
That's right.
One of the things that we have been enjoying is that, like when The Mandalorian first appeared, we wanted to make sure we were there carrying the news for it. So we were very quick to get reservations and be there that day to see this crowd, a literal crowd.
Paparazzi.
It very much was like an LA paparazzi crowd waiting for him to come out of the area that we had heard he would be coming out of. So it's might as well have us been waiting for a celebrity to come out of a restaurant. But, the Mandalorian and the addition of Fennec Shand and also Boba Fett, it's been wonderful experiences. One of the things that I miss is the fact that we are locked in one time zone. The way Batu was designed, the story of it is that it's essentially, I already made the comparison, it's a Renaissance fair during Groundhog Day as Star Wars. Now, I say the Groundhog because it's the same day that's repeating over and over again. So when you arrive there, it's like, oh, hey, the First Order just arrived a couple of weeks ago. And I look at my watch and I'm like, no, they've been here 4 years. And it's like, no, they just arrived. Yeah. So one of the problems is that it's, the story and it keeps repeating. And it's not that we don't enjoy that story, but the fact that it's like, oh, here comes Mando, here comes Boba Fett. It's just like, oh, very much a welcome change. Yeah. One of the things that's been missing from the park, and it really became missing, I think, from Disneyland's Tomorrowland, is representation of the original trilogy, or even to a certain degree the prequels. Because previously we had areas to be able to go, and you could go ahead and visit with Darth Vader, and you could go ahead and see models that were made from the original props and vehicles and such. All of that was found in what was it called?
Launch Bay.
The Launch Bay, the Star Wars Launch Bay.
That's right. Yeah.
And it was in the old People Movers building here. People Movers. There we go. something that was there and something that we could visit. So we still had our connection back to the original trilogy. But at this point, it's all the current sequels, and now we're starting to finally get some change in there with the introduction of The Mandalorian and Boba Fett, being able to have them come in place. That's my thoughts on that. But Nadia, what are your thoughts on the Star Cruiser?
I was just come out and say it. The Star Cruiser was too expensive for everybody, and that's why it failed. I said it. Come at me, Disney.
It's okay, we heard y'all.
Yeah, it's definitely the case. I mean, we know one family I think that's visited once, personally, and they're booking, or they're trying to book one more time before it closes
in September.
Yeah, but they went that first time as the novelty. We got to do this, right? It's unusual. We got to go. And now it's sort of like, well, it's gone forever. We got to go and see. And I would think that, I don't know, I would think that Disney's going to try to come up with something, whether it's that or something else. They're going to try to use Star Wars somehow, I think, for that. But I don't know. It was a surprise to me that they were doing it this soon. But what's been online, it seems, is that everybody raving, like you said earlier, about the characters in Batuu is the people, the performers and the cast members, and how wonderful they are, and that's the sad part about it. So yeah, I don't know. I'm hoping they come up with something.
Well,
because
I had read an insider report yesterday that had said that they were the Imagineers were in the middle of designing new storylines and new characters, and possibly shifting it around a little. I have no idea what it would look like, but it was a complete surprise to them that it just got killed off. But potentially it might be one of those, hey, do you want to board you want to go ahead and go on a cruise? It's going to be the sequel cruise, or we're going to have the prequel cruise, because they've sufficiently designed it. I saw they're making a comic book of Anakin and Padme on the Star Cruiser undercover.
They're leaving a lot of the Star Cruiser. They wove a lot of the Star Cruiser into canon, so that would be a legitimate thing. And they did all that work. It's like it would just be a shame to see it all go to waste. And I would love.
If they used it for certain or special events, or they used it for, like you said, maybe they book, once a month or once a quarter, or something that they can do, and maybe use it otherwise. It looked like it was really neat. I would like to have done that, but like you said, the cost is just prohibitive when you look at a family of 3 in our case.
$44,800 for 2 rooms. I'm sorry, for 2 people. 2 people in a room. $4,800 for 2 people. So yeah.
What were you gonna say?
Well, there are some issues that the family know have some problems with, like the AC.
Oh, they've had some air conditioning problems and other stuff?
Yeah.
Well, hotels probably do have those kind of things.
Yeah, but in Florida, you don't want to have those AC.
You don't want that, that's for sure.
I lived in Orlando for a couple of years, and it wasn't as bad as perhaps some places in Florida. But yeah, you need that AC.
I've heard that it's actually warm on there. They keep it at like 70 or something like that.
Well, in space, it is actually a lot warmer. You don't freeze as much, but couldn't open a window probably.
That's right. You get a little fresh air.
Exactly.
Or no air. There you go.
Because they like green.
Yes, they have those greens. All right. Are you ready for number 5?
Well,
Okay, here's number 5.
you do a lot of short videos. How do you think they've affected how the Disney community stayed up to date on Disney Parks news and events?
Nadia, why are you looking at me?
Good.
Oh. I'm actually. Sorry about the shaking camera. We now have a cat pushing up against it.
Come on.
Come here. All right, back to the question. How do you think it's affected the Disney communities? Well, we find our reports. Sometimes I'll be reporting a bit of information, like, for example, this upcoming Friday, an Ezra Bridger lightsaber is going to be released. And this has been standing news previously, but we announced it, and just seeing the response of people say, "Oh, I didn't know about this. This is great," and so forth. So what I'm starting to discover, there are channels that everyone follows. There's certain news, and I love it, the fact that we can be the CNN for certain people when it comes to getting some of the Disney information out. Because we have our sources and our sources have their sources, and really kind of depends on who's you're following. But
it's a lot of like sharing information. I always like to say that we're here, if somebody shares something, let's help boost the signal by resharing that information. Yeah. And I think the community itself, they're all like, it's not like there's like this competition or anything. It's very like interwoven between everybody of sharing all of these, news stories while being respectful of each other.
Yeah. And I think, there's a place for interviews like this, and for, documentaries and all. There's space out there for everybody. But I think I find myself more recently watching a lot of the shorts, because you do get a lot more information relatively quickly. And especially when you're watching the channels that you want to follow, you're not just random stuff. But I think it's a really good thing. I think it's a great mix of stuff. So I think y'all did a great job, or are doing a great job with it. So.
Thank you. Yeah, deliberately, because we've talked about this, longer format videos versus the shorter ones. And I'll come back with, when I put it all in place, I'm great. I've got 2 minutes and 15 seconds worth of footage, and it's like, I need to get that down to 30 seconds, just because, certain information is needed on it. So for me, it's definitely an editing adventure to try to get that information out. But I find it to actually, it's a lot more successful. We actually are getting more views based on these shorter videos and this information dump. But I am glad I'm still able to get humor into it. And there's definitely enough jokes thrown at Nadia. She sees a stormtrooper and she just has to go up to them.
I lose everything. It's over.
And on YouTube, someone was just like, "Oh, you're a grown adult. What are you doing behaving that way at a theme park for children?" And so many people jumped in to Nadia's defense.
Oh, I can imagine. I can imagine that one.
I know what that is.
Yeah. Now, when we went to Disneyland a month or so ago, one of the days of the week that we were there, we booked the D23 tour at the studios, and just had a lot of fun. Got to see a lot of stuff. But when I go back to the office, I have 5 people I work with. There's not a one of them that would understand why we took a day on our vacation to go tour a studio, or to go to the parks for 3 days, or but that's they can be into camping, they can be into whatever they're into. This is something that our whole family enjoys, all 3 of us. And Emma has her channel, which we try to support any way we can. So I just brushed that stuff off.
Are you regretting?
No, I'm saying you don't worry about it.
Oh,
yeah.
Sorry.
Okie doke.
People that go to these sporting events, it's like, "Oh, let me take off my shirt and paint half of my body garnet gold, and root for my football team in 20-degree weather."
Oh, and you can spend easily $700-800 to go to a big game, or something like that. And I think there's a whole lot more fun to be had with family and friends at the parks when we can get there. So
you can spend $700 or $800 just at one of the restaurants in Disneyland, and that's a bit expensive. maybe
some lightsabers.
Lightsabers. Because Emma, I hear you have lightsabers. So
she went to. Do you want to go try to find it?
Yeah, I'll be right back.
Okay. She when we went the first time in 2019, she went and did the Savi's workshop, and she was just so nervous. And when they did the kind of the reveal thing with everybody turning them on and all that, she just kind of freaked. She kind of went, it was so real, I think, to her. But she enjoyed it. She enjoyed the heck out of it. And then we did the droid building, and I think that was this trip in Florida. I think we did that one. But it's one of the places we got to go at least a couple times. We had one day during the recent trip that she and I went, just the two of us. And of course, that's where we had to go. Apart from Big Thunder Mountain and a couple of other things. Haunted Mansion. Yeah, she's a big Haunted Mansion fan.
In case.
The whole thing. Here it is. Yeah, it's right here. I'll get it.
Careful with it, guys.
Which one did you get? The
purple one. The Macker when you cutter.
yeah, but it was Hope and
Yeah, hope the battery got dead.
oh, the battery's dead.
Again?
Yeah. Oh, there it is. Oh, nope. It's red.
What?
No, it's purple.
Battery's going dead.
Yeah.
So when you see it turning pink, the
Yeah,
battery's almost gone.
battery's gone. Yeah, battery's going down. He said when it's pink like this,
Oh,
the battery's going down.
Oh.
It'll be purple when we put new batteries in it.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, I didn't know
Maybe the
But-
new Hello Kitty.
Didn't know that.
Yeah, this was her her version that she built,
Is that-
and we
I think
Macker when
this was right, not long after it opened, of course, a few months after,
Yeah.
and we had to try to figure out. We didn't know what to do about TSA on the plane or anything else back then.
Metal. Real metal.
Yeah, but it's also this big old long thing in a case.
Yeah.
So we ended up packing the hilts and we shipped home the blades, and
it may apply.
that was crazy because that cost way too much to ship. But nowadays, it's not a big deal. They all know what they are,
Oh, okay.
right? When you go through the hotels,
Go.
I mean the airports.
Wait, don't forget about what happened with the Coca-Cola model.
Oh, yes.
Oh, the people saying that those were like bombs or something,
Well, Gatorade.
grenades. Yeah.
Yeah.
We had one of each that we took home. Huh?
I didn't like how Coca-Cola and Disney made a Star Wars
Yeah,
logo for the Coca-Cola company.
it was nice that they went through that to do that, huh?
Well,
I think it adds something to it.
well,
So, all righty. So
Okay.
where we at?
One
Oh,
thing-
sure. Go ahead.
That I wanted to bring up real quick is the
Yeah.
TSA actually has a page on lightsabers now.
Oh, did they really?
Nadia just brought it up.
And it says, sadly, the technology doesn't currently exist to create a real lightsaber. However, you can pack a lightsaber in your carry-on or checked bag. May the force be with you. So
There you go.
oh,
That's awesome. I didn't know that.
wait, we're on the.
Yeah, we're on 6. But yeah, no, I didn't know they did that. But
That's
they do have a
cool.
sense of humor, I guess.
plunk it.
Especially for those who are fans of Star Wars.
Yeah. Okay. Well, here's number 6.
Okay. You have an Amazon storefront at amazon.com/galaxy and explorers.
Mhm.
Why did you set it up and what do you sell?
Look at it. So,
Okay.
Sorry, that was funny.
so I guess that's my cue.
Yeah.
Okay.
And I set it up just because, and I'm the one that set this one up, and it's because a lot of people compliment us on our bounds or what we're wearing, and a lot of the stuff is from Amazon or just our closet.
What's a bound? No, let's take a moment.
Well, it's when you dress up like a character, but you're not in costume.
Oh, I know what that is. I know what that is.
Right.
So basically, like some people will do like Snow White, for example, where they have the yellow and the blue and the red, to kind of match the colors, but it's in their own clothing. And so we kind of created that as a guide to help people shop for what to wear to Batu. And it has everything from like clothing suggestions to gloves, accessories, and all that kind of stuff. So that's where we kind of wanted to show the fashion aspects of Disney bounding, in particular Batu bounding.
Oh.
That's cool. And that's kind of like a one-stop shop for ideas and to actually get your stuff. Yeah.
Oh, sorry, I can take a picture of myself on the storefront, and then I can go ahead and attach like what I'm wearing, what I found on Amazon to that picture.
Wow. Okay. That's pretty cool.
Yeah.
I was going to say, it seems like you have a little bit more freedom to do that because dressing like a typical character, Disney character, if you're kind of alluding to that with the colors or whatever else you're wearing, that's okay. But they definitely frown on real characters.
Well, one of the things they love to encourage is the fact that you are becoming your own character.
Yes.
Via their data pad app, you're actually able to earn credits towards joining the Bounty Hunter Union. as well as being able to perform certain tasks through the park, through Galaxy's Edge, where it's like, well, I'm working for the Resistance, or I'm working to be a scoundrel. So you actually build an identity towards that. And we've certainly met a lot of people that are so embraced into this that when they get to the park, they introduce themselves under their Batuan name or some Star Wars name that they've invented.
Yeah.
Certainly, Nadia doesn't need to do that because Nadia's name was actually used in one of these Star Wars novels. Somebody was towards their blaster pistol and had nicknamed it Nadia. So it's like the name exists in Star Wars, so she doesn't have to change her name.
Oh, that's true.
There you go. Well, that needs to be something you do, huh? Or maybe we could do when we go next time. We're planning a trip in January, Disney cruise, but to kind of bookend it with days at the parks in Florida.
Land and sea one.
Yeah, land and sea, what they used to call it. So yeah, that may have to be something we do. If we do a dad and daughter day, maybe we could do that. Wouldn't that be cool?
Contacted by people that are going for the very first time, and they're asking, what should I wear? And now that's one of the reasons that Nadia created that great resource.
I think it is. That's a great resource. Yeah, because I wouldn't have known where to look. When I found it, I was like, "Oh, this is cool."
Yeah, they'll laugh at you in security, but once you get into Galaxy's Edge, you'll be fine.
I get so
many
security.
What are you wanting to say?
Is there one for R2D2 or maybe 8 around?
Oh, are there ideas to do bounding for to refer to like BB-8 and R2D2, like
the asteroid?
Astromech droid, yeah.
Yeah, we do see quite a bit of the different droid bounding, aside from our actual droid himself. Yeah. Because people, it'd be like, why is that person wearing bright gold lame dress?
There you go.
Oh, they're with an R2D2 person too, and that's a C3PO person.
Like you would dress something like if you wanted to go as R2, like you would do maybe like a white pair of pants with a blue shirt, and then maybe like a silver handbag or something, to kind of accent him. And BB-8, I've seen some people do like white and orange for that.
Yeah, that would be cool.
Yeah. So there's
think about what you want to do.
Yeah. So yeah, don't be afraid to do that. And R2 is a regular in the parks now. So one of the fun things to do is make sure you can find him and get a photo taken with him, with R2 himself.
We were here. Emma had a prom that she went to this past Friday night, and it's for one of the schools for young adults and I guess adults. Right. Called the Fact Institutes for people with special needs or disabilities. And they had a person there who looked awfully like the Mandalorian.
And he danced with me.
That actually danced with Emma.
Yeah, I took a picture. And R2
and an R2, right? Because they have a San Antonio, it's called the Star Wars Society of San Antonio.
Yeah, that my friend Patrick helped to get the R2D2 unit.
Yeah. They raised some money to get the R2D2.
And and they have their own Instagram page called R2D2SA.
SA for San Antonio.
And they send shorts to me. And the guy who's doing the art unit recognized me because I follow them.
Yeah. Recognize you from being online, huh?
Yeah.
Yeah. But that was, you never know, I guess, where those characters might show up. But yeah, you definitely need to find R2. I don't think we've seen R2 in Batu before. You have to look. You don't have to worry about it.
I know.
That's okay. I know, but he's going to look just like theirs.
I know. I can make a buddy over here.
Yep. All right. Are you ready for number 7?
Yeah.
Okay, here's number 7. Then we get to the fun 5.
This is the
last regular question.
Yeah, regular question. I was going to say something else about it.
Okay, well, go ahead.
This is the last professional question.
Professional question.
Yeah.
The rest are completely unprofessional. All right.
Well, it's just for fun.
Okay, just for fun.
Okay. Where can people find you on social media, and what and what is coming up next for your channel?
Well, coming up next for our channel is definitely not a visit to the Star Cruiser. I would have loved to say, hey, you know what? And 2024 January, we're going on. It's like, no, that's not going to be happening. However, GalaxyEdgeExplorers.com is a page that contains our links to all of our different social networking. Galaxy Edge Explorers, very long name, on Instagram. We have a group on Facebook. We are on, obviously, YouTube as well. And we have a presence on TikTok, which is kind of questionable at times. Sometimes we'll have 10 people that have liked a video, and yesterday's is 21.5 thousand plays. That just sort of came out of nowhere.
Yeah.
It was just like, we just showed you a couple of things. So you can never tell what's going to be taking off. But primarily, we're trying to keep the Galaxy Edge Explorers, which was a very long name, which we have, unfortunately, we're stuck with it.
Yeah.
It's a great name. It's a great name, but it's trying to have people type this out. And it's just like, should there be two S's after it? It's like, yes, it's Galaxy's Edge. So, yeah, the GalaxyEdgeExplorers.com is going to be always going to be our central hub. And within it, we've got the links out to our different items.
We can shorten it.
We can shorten it?
Yeah,
No, we're not going to shorten it.
Galaxy's Edge Explorer.
Yeah, I've already into like.
Also on that site is the link to the store. So I'll mention that too. Once you get to your website, it's got the links to all of that stuff. So
and cool. What's coming up next for us is that we've been working a lot recently with the official Disneyana fan club here in Southern California, and they have a expo which they host twice a year. And about a month ago, we were very fortunate. We were invited to be able to go and participate in the expo as entertainment, because we belong to a group which is called the Droid Builders Group, and specifically the Droid Smiths. So something that I've been hosting for 4 years in the picnic area outside of Disneyland. Took some time off for COVID, but droid races. And that was one of our big things to do. And people had seen it, and they had invited us, going, "Would you host droid races at our Disneyana Expo?" So yes, we just did it about a month ago. It was a great success. B2 was there, and actually we had a button that, I don't know if we can see, this is droid racing. Yeah, I can't see it either. But
I see. Yeah. The pin back button. Yeah.
So instead of pod racing, we're now doing droid racing. And
there you go.
And they did us for their October Expo, because they do it twice a year. And they said, we'd love to have you again and be able to host the races again.
So that's cool.
Was hosting the races and was also bringing a lot of Star Wars in general. Like, I helped coordinate the 501st, and which is a costuming group.
Okay.
Oh, great.
That we were able to expand and include. Nadia reached out to the 501st, which is specifically the Star Wars.
If they're the official costuming group, they do a lot of charity work and stuff. As well, but the guys who dress up as Darth Vader and stormtroopers and stuff, those are all the five.
Okay.
So it was great to have Darth Vader watching the droid races. There was
there you go.
There was a Tusken Raider who was very present.
Yeah.
I can see that.
Can you actually do the sound too?
So we're actually looking forward to being able to hopefully have more outreach to participating in these kind of events, and hopefully we're able to bring more people into the community, where not only are they afraid of being judged as a fan of Disney, but I've dealt with people not being so kind to me for being a Star Wars fan since my childhood. So not getting into bullying stories, but the fact that we can be so open and outward and welcoming to each other. So it was
just have fun. Yeah.
It was incredible.
One, you made me think of that first trip to Disneyland. We went to to, it was the Carousel of Progress building where they had, I guess, the big exhibit, and there was,
Yeah, that's Star Wars launch pad.
was it launch pad? Okay.
Yeah.
And Emma, we got in line to see Darth Vader, and we have a little clip of this somewhere. But
I don't know if it's on YouTube or not.
I don't know. But Darth Vader said something like, and he's asking her to join the dark side, and she just looked at him, and he said, "Perhaps you need more time to consider." And I was like,
and he called me a little one.
Yeah,
even
little
though
one.
I'm not actually a child.
But I tell you, it even affected me because I had a scooter, and I was behind Emma in line. And when he came to get her, I looked up, and it looked like he was 10 feet tall when I was sitting on the scooter. So it was sort of like, oh man.
Yeah, it'll come Andy.
Yeah, it was just a weird experience because I was thinking, okay, that's pretty intimidating when you're sitting that low. But anyway, that was so much fun.
And you know when I get Andy, you know what I'm referring to,
Anakin.
correct?
Right, yes, they do. I'm sure they do. All right, are you ready for the fun five?
The fun
I
five.
think so.
The fun five.
Wait, I'm doing good.
Yeah, just five. All right, so here you go.
Oh,
Kick it off.
if you could have a year's supply of any Disney park snack, which one would it be?
What's your answer?
A breakfast churro.
Oh, yeah.
Because for her, a churro is breakfast.
breakfast,
Yes.
yeah.
There you go.
Okay.
First snack that I buy in the park, it's usually in the morning times, and it's usually my breakfast. So it's a breakfast churro. Easy.
There you go.
And there's too much
Yeah,
churro for me, so I actually am waiting in the pretzel line. So my equivalent answer is going to be the Mickey pretzel.
Ah, there you go. A
Yeah.
year's supply of pretzels and churros.
Good choices.
Good choices.
I actually finally ate a churro while we were at downtown Disney while heading back to the hotel room.
Yeah, we stopped and got one when we're heading back to the hotel. It was a little stand. It was really good.
I got the French toast.
The French toast churro. That's right. All right, number 9.
Oh, well, you already know where my answer is going to.
We're not asking you.
I know.
You're asking your guests.
Oh, no.
So
sorry.
please.
Okay. If you could live at any Disney park, resort, hotel, which one would it be?
Well, that's easy. The Star Cruiser, but
Oh no!
yeah, too
It
soon.
may hit the market soon. You never know.
Wait, market?
What real estate market?
Oh,
Probably not. Disney's not
okay.
going to sell that.
I hear they're going to turn it into a Spirit Halloween this
Yeah,
year.
yeah.
So
Yeah, that wouldn't surprise me, right? Wouldn't that be funny?
What?
A Spirit Halloween. You know how the stores close down and
Oh, the Spirit Halloween store.
just shows up in empty malls and things. Yeah.
It's been so long since I've been back to the Florida hotels. But even when I was in the late '90s, I was doing tuxedo delivery and fittings at the Dolphin and the Swan, and I remember how elaborate those were at the time. But if we were talking about which resort hotel to stay at, I would have to say the Grand Californian out here. Because of its proximity, not only its proximity to the parks, but it is a gorgeous place. We stayed there together a few years ago for just a long weekend, and it was just an incredible stay. The facilities, the building, the room itself.
I love the ability of being able to go back and take a nap really easily.
Yes. Yeah, that helps.
Wait, the ability?
Well, the ability to go back and take a nap because you're so close.
Oh.
We did that one day.
Oh, like the contemporary colonies and
Yeah, stuff like that. Because in Walt Disney World, otherwise the hotels are pretty far away.
Yeah, like Animal Kingdom one.
You can do it, but it takes longer, right? Okay, are you ready for?
Wait, you didn't say mine.
Oh, Emma wants to share hers. Would you please? Emma, well, you got to have an answer if you want to share it. What's your answer?
It will probably be contemporary.
The contemporary? Why?
The very first day when I was, because that's where we stayed when my mom and dad brought me to Walt Disney World for the first time.
Yeah, you were.
I was 4.
Yeah, her first stay was there. But Animal Kingdom Lodge is pretty awesome too.
Yeah.
I like that.
Yeah, we're planning a trip back to her first trip to Orlando, and I'm planning for us to stay at the Contemporary. So definitely can side with you on that. So
I'm hoping that we can do that in January, because not only having a day or two on either side of the cruise, I'd want to be close so we wouldn't have to, take buses everywhere. So, all right, number 9.
If you could live at any Disney.
Oh wait, we just did that.
Number 10.
Sorry.
So our cruiser. Oh,
back that up a bit. All right, number 10.
It is Groundhog Day. It is repeat.
There you go.
Redo.
PTSD.
All right.
If you could visit. Okay. Now I think over. Okay.
You got it. Yeah.
If you could only visit one Disney park in the future, what would you choose?
That's easy for me. It's just Disneyland because that's like my home park.
Yeah.
I mean, I've never been to the ones in Florida and stuff, but it just sounds like really overwhelming. I mean, I'm sure that there's like, they each have their own thing, but I just like how Disneyland is so contained.
Mm-hmm.
It's one park with the lands in it, and then of course it has my home Batu there. So.
Yeah, I'm going to have to agree with Nadia on it. As somebody who grew up with the Magic Kingdom and then later Epcot and then just once the MGM movie studio before they changed names, there's something that's very overwhelming about those parks. And I really am looking forward to the day that Nadia steps out on Main Street in Orlando and sees just how far away the actual castle is and how ginormous it is. I mean, I just think we need a hotel on Main Street, because as you start walking, you're going to get tired. You're going to want to go take a nap and then, pick up from there and get to the castle. So
I'll tell you,
like one in Paris.
Well, that's right, like Paris, huh? They have that hotel at the entrance. I tell you, we've been to Florida, to the Florida parks a couple dozen times, but I would say that Disneyland for me too. It's just different. It just feels different. Being a fan of all the history and of all the stuff that Walt did and all that, you can almost just feel that there. And the community, I think, because it's got a lot of locals that go, it feels like a community in that area, versus Orlando, where you're going to get people from all over the world in bigger quantities. It's just different. What was your pick? I know you like Animal Kingdom because it was open the month you were born.
Well, yeah, but I was born on the 10th. Well, Animal Kingdom was open on the 22nd. Right. When I'm 12 days older than it.
But which part do you like the best?
I would say Magic Kingdom because Caddy and the Hot Box Stove is being installed at the Haunted Mansion right.
Well, soon.
Yeah, soon this year.
Yeah.
Which I'm happy to start.
So you like that Haunted Mansion and the fact that Hatbox Ghost is going to be there.
Yeah.
The scales.
Don't forget, I have my own team riding, so I am a spoon. And Paul Free has a preview there too.
Okay, we'll have to show me next time.
It's called Mr. Freeze.
Oh, really?
Yep.
Okay. Emma's a big fan of Paul Frees. Yeah, we've got, oh goodness, stuff we're collecting here. All right, you ready? The album, if you want, real quick. Brandon Clyley, who's a former Imagineer, Emma interviewed. He did all the. Whoops, we'll do it this way. Yeah.
Sorry. Kind of big and heavy.
It's called Paul Frees and the Poster People. And it's an album that he did, I guess. But Brandon sent her this and a bunch of other things. And And one of the things that Brandon did was the decor for inside of both of the tiki rooms. Not tiki rooms, I'm sorry. Trader Sam's.
Trader Sam's.
Yeah.
Okay.
Not tiki room.
I don't know why
That
I
was
said
the
that.
Pacamacaneer.
Yes. No, but Brandon said that everything in Trader Sam's and Disneyland that has handwriting on it is his handwriting.
Oh, wow.
So it was a cool interview.
Yeah.
It's in Emma's playlist.
Yeah, if y'all want to go check it
But
out.
he was such a nice guy. He sent this and a few other things to her, just
and a card.
to connect. Yeah, because he's a fan of Paul Frees too. So.
Yeah.
All right, are we on to number 11?
Yeah,
I think we are.
Yeah.
Okay, here's number 11.
If you could build any Disney park or crack in your backyard, what would you build?
See, it's going to be the same answer for us. I just know it.
Then say it.
The Millennium Falcon.
Look, mother bread.
Yes, who wouldn't want a big Millennium Falcon in their backyard? Come on.
There you go.
I'm surprised you didn't choose Space Mountain, quite honestly.
Ooh.
I know I would have chosen the Falcon.
Right. No.
I know I would have chosen it, but I was for
would've wanted the
sure
Falcon, yeah.
you were going to say Space Mountain.
I didn't think it was Hyperspace Mountain.
Emma and her mom rode Hyperspace Mountain.
No, it was.
Not this time, but
I know.
last time.
Yeah.
Yeah, and y'all really liked it better than the regular Space Mountain.
And apparently, the Disneyland and Disney World soundtrack for Space Mountain is different.
Yeah, and different music. That's right. So that's pretty cool. The last time we rode Smuggler's Run, Emma was one of the pilots.
And I was again with Brian.
And you did pretty good. That's right, with Brian. The first time we rode in 2019 in California, I was one of the pilots. She was one of the pilots.
Pilot.
Yeah.
You almost said pirate.
Almost said pirate. You were on the left. You were on the left, so you were keeping us steered right side to side or up and down, whichever one it was. Well, anyway, she ended up with 3 of the coaxium things, and I don't know how, but she plays video games all the time, so maybe that helped with the reflexes. But we were impressed. We hadn't been able to duplicate that yet, but it was fun.
There was something that we had an opportunity to do recently, and that's called Wookiee mode.
Chewy mode.
Chewy mode?
I've heard of this, haven't seen it.
So
it was madness. It was just, instead of Hondo Ohnaka talking, you just have Chewbacca screaming at you.
Oh,
yeah.
so
let's get another thing of coaxium, and instead of that, it's and it works at times because he's got a temper.
Oh yeah.
And he speaks his mind too. So
that's pretty cool.
Well, I know more.
I heard there's some kind of secret to that, but that's something we'll have to look up.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I know people have already explored it out there.
That's right.
Yeah.
All right.
I like your Wookiee cry for Chewbacca. It was really good.
All right. Are you ready? This is the last question. Oh, goodness. Okay. Well, get on with it.
I will build a hard American.
Big surprise.
But I will ask Paul Frees and the other team to help work on the ride to come haunt it. That'll be the hard American.
So you want them to actually come haunt the mansion? Okay, you're crazy. You are crazy. Okay, that might be you might be the only person to ride that one. All right. Well, let's go to number 12. This is the last big question. So go ahead, read it out.
If you ask Walt Disney one question right now, what will you ask him?
I would ask him, what do you think of your legacy? I would really want to know that if we are matching because I mean, essentially we are part of the community now that I think about it. Yeah. Are we part of what he envisioned, what Walt Disney World could become? Is it the magic that he wanted to see come from it? Because there's probably no way he could have predicted Galaxy's Edge and the interactivity of Rise of the Resistance any of those type of elements. But still, if we were to boil it all down, is this the legacy you wanted to leave? And I would hope yes. That would be my intention. I'm not trying to get him to go, aha, no, you
Gotcha.
But Nadia, do you feel any differently?
No, I would just like to know what his honest opinion would be of Star Wars and how they fit under the Disney. Because it was, it was really surprising to hear that they were buying Star Wars when that was going down. It was kind of like Disney and Star Wars. That's an interesting match, and so I'd be wondering, like if buying the big properties like Star Wars and Marvel are in line with what he saw, what his vision is.
That's a really good point. Because he was all about the stories and doing them, I guess, himself with his crew, as opposed to bringing them in, I guess. But yeah, it's a really good question. What?
Go get 20th Century Fox.
Oh yeah, and Fox too. Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Because we got the Alien franchise is now part of it. So
Alien is now
yes. So the Alien Queen, so Princess Leia is an actual Disney princess.
There you go.
From Aliens is now an evil queen. So some of these was
I got it. And a character, and an evil queen character.
Yeah, that'd be a little scary for some kids.
Well, they put down Alien Encounter years ago.
I know.
Yeah.
Only we there's a great escape.
Right. That was that. It was gone before you came around to go to the parks. But
maybe they'll replace the Maleficent dragon that burned down recently. We could get a giant queen alien in place. Change.
Oh,
All right, crush yourself again there. So
reference Eisner again. That's more synergy, I guess. Bringing in the brand. Well, one thing you mentioned though made me think about it. I mean, I wonder what Walt would think about the community that's kind of sprung up around Disney. I mean, social media has helped that, obviously, but just connecting people with similar interests that have all the desire to know about the history and get into all the storylines and all the details. I mean, I don't know if that existed in any shape back then, but I'm curious because it's affected culture, pop culture, just culture so much. I wonder what he'd think of that. Beyond the physical things that were created, So.
To his defense, the Mickey Mouse Club, that may have been aimed more towards children, but how many times have you seen video of Walt driving one of his backyard trains around with friends and family members in the back? So I don't think he would disagree with the idea of the Disney adult.
Yeah, I agree with you. I think so too. Well, I think it's time for you to say thank you.
What about mine?
Oh, okay.
Wow.
So
let me ask you one last question here. If you could ask Walt Disney any question, what would it be?
I will ask him and his brother Royal Disney may I have a hug nicely.
You would ask for a hug. And
there are two questions. There are one question for both brothers.
Okay.
What would be, what do you think of Epcot in your original idea for Epcot? How do you think about what your company did with Epcot? They used the name, they didn't make it into a reality. They made it to a theme park reality.
Versus the actual city for Epcot. Yeah.
But they didn't keep the model.
Yeah. Okay. So that's a good question for Walt. What about Roy?
I'll ask Roy, what do you think of the company about how much budget is used over time and didn't use for unused content and theme park content too?
I'm not following you.
Other land.
You would ask him about unused content?
Yeah, the budget that they use for the park, including for unused content like the Weekly Kingdom that they did.
Oh, what would Roy think of all those ideas that could have been put in place but weren't? Ah, okay. I had to decipher that one. I wasn't sure where you were going with that question. Yeah.
Good question. Yeah.
Emma was in the back of the crowd quietly cheering for the last Bob to leave. So when this Bob came,
Back for 2 years actually.
we told that to our tour guide at the
Miss Jasmine.
Jasmine, that's right, at the studios, and she just kind of smiled and went on.
I think she called it like that.
Yeah, who knows? But it was a really fun. That was a fun thing to do. But this has been really fun. Thank you so much for doing this.
For coming.
Thank you
Great
for
to meet you, and just know we're out there following you too.
Yeah.
You want to say thank you?
Thank you very much for having us, and we'd love to come back. Of course, when we have something new to talk about.
Oh, definitely. Whenever you want to, just give us a shout.
And don't make us get our lightsabers out.
I did mine down.
It's down there. All right. We'll say goodnight.
Night, Nick, about and Nick.
Nadia.
Nadia, we're going back tonight.
All right. Thanks again. Y'all take care.
Thank you.
Bye now.
We're back, guys. I love it.
How did you like it?
How did you like it?
We'll keep talking.
Oh,
But about this, not about the chat.
oh. What y'all think about the interview, guys?
There you go. Great, Emma. Sue, this was interesting. Thank you and goodbye. Yeah, it's getting long because it's after 8 o'clock.
Yeah.
Let's go ahead and wrap it up. So thank Bob and thank the two of them for letting you interview them.
Thank you, Bob and Mick, Nadia, for letting me and my dad interview y'all. Hi, Mr. Kevin Lively.
And put on there, say no live stream this Saturday.
Okay.
Okay?
No live stream Saturday, guys. We'll see y'all next Wednesday for the unboxing.
At Magic Mail.
Magic Mail. Well, unboxing the same thing.
So until next Wednesday.
So next one, guys, see you real soon. Night, guys, see y'all next Wednesday for unboxing with Magic Mail.
Thank you for being here.
And thank you for being here, guys. Love y'all.